all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel Code Fusion Hub. So here I am with another video of solving our SQL problems. Okay. So make sure you are consistent with me in this journey so it would help you enhance your skills more. And make sure you have subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss any update from the whole playlist, and make sure you are practicing all the problems thoroughly. Make sure that you give specific period of time daily without any delay into the video, and practice the problem daily. Okay, so this will improve your consistency towards upgrading over your skills. So for today's SQL questions, we are going to pick one question for this video, and for the new users, you can check out all the previous videos. I'll give you the link in the description box. In case if you have any doubts, you can drop them in the comment section below. So our today's problem number is going to be 175, which we are going to solve over here. Okay, so here what we are going to do is combine two tables. Our today's problem is upon combining two tables. So we are obviously having two tables because we have to combine them. So let's have a look at the question over here. Our first table is the person, okay, where we have specific columns, that is person ID, last name, and the first name, and its data type are int and varchar over here. Okay. Now here the person ID is the primary key, so no duplicates are present in the table. Now, this table contains the information about IDs of some person with their first name and last name. Okay, so there are some person over here which are having a particular person ID and respectively their first name and last name over here. Now, second, what we are having is a table address. Okay, so it has specific columns, that is address ID. The person ID is nothing but this person ID. Okay, so next is our city and state. Now here the address ID is the primary key for this table and the person ID is primary key for this table. Now each row of this table contains the information about the person's city, state and address over here. Okay. So what is mentioned over here is each row of this table contains the information about the city and state of one person with ID, that is person ID. Okay, the same thing. Now, what we have to find the solution is we have to report the first name, the last name, which are from this table, correct? And the city and state, which are from this table. Okay, so we are having the values of both the tables into one table, so we have to combine them. Okay, now if the address of a person ID is not present, okay, so if the address, okay, is not present, then we have to report null instead. Okay. So now what do you think, what approach should be done over here? Let's just have a look at the example first so you'll get to understand it more. We have the person table, we have the address table, person ID 1, person ID 2. Now here we have person ID 1 and person ID 2. Now you can check that in address table we have person ID 2 and 3. So the person ID 1 is missing from this table. Okay, so we have this person ID 1 present, okay, but we don't have the address of that person ID 1. So what we have to do is we have to set the values of the city and state as null because we don't have any address for that particular ID. So we have to do this. Okay, so since here in the explanation is also written that here there is no address in the address table for person ID 1, so we return null in the city and the state. Okay. So now, how do we achieve this? We have seen in the previous video, like what should we do this? Okay, so try to pause the video and think over the problem, read it twice. You'll find the solution that what needs to be done over here. Okay, so guess your answers and drop them in the comment section below. By pausing the video, you can just check that what approach are you thinking upon this problem and would it help you to get throughout or not. Okay, so here what we are going to use is nothing but a left join. Okay, now why a left join? Okay, so left join returns us the values of all the rows that is present in the left table and then go and find its matching value in the right table. If it is not present, then it's null. So our left table is nothing but the person, okay, and the right table is address over here. So it will return me all the rows that are present in the left table, that is 1 and 2 for the person ID, correct? Now it will go and find the matching values of the person ID that is present over here. If the ID is not found in the right table, then the value is set to be null automatically using the left join. This is the main concept of the left join that needs to be used over here. So we are going to use this over here. So let's go to our query and write the solution for the same. So what are we going to do is first we are going to select what all we want over here. We want the first name. Is the first name present in any table? Yes, it is present in the person table, correct? We'll just minimize this. Yeah. So what are we going to do is we are going to use the alias as P, suppose, for the person table over here. And for address, we would be using A. Okay, so we don't have to write the table name whole accordingly again and again. So what we have to do is, first of all, we have to find the first name. Okay, so the first name is present in the person table, so we are mentioning the first name. Okay, now second, what we want is the last name. Is the last name present in the person table? Yes, it is present, so I'll write last name over here. Now this was about the person table. Now the city and state comes from the address table over here. So what are we going to represent our address as? A. Okay, so from the address table we get the city, second is our state. Okay, so I guess we got all the columns that we need to show in the output, that is first name, last name from the person, and city and state from the address. By using the alias we have recognized them. Now what are we going to take it from the person table? Okay, now the person alias was given as P, so we have to mention it over here. So now what are we going to do is we are going to apply the left join over here. Okay, so the table name that you write before using this left join command is your left table, and the one you write after this is your right one. Okay, so people often get confused with this, that on which table you are applying left join, on which table you have to include all the rows and find the values. So it's quite simple. The table that you mentioned before the left join is your left one, and after the left join is your address, that is your right table. Okay, so what are we going to do is we are going to left join with the address over here, stating that on, let me get it right, on what are we going to match? Okay, the person ID over here. Okay, so the person ID is not mentioned as this, it is mentioned as this. Okay, yeah, so the person ID over here from the person table, and also the person ID from the address table. So these two needs to be checked. So it will return all the person ID from the person table, and then it would go and check on the right hand side that is the value present over here. If it is not, it would set to null automatically. We don't have to specify that you have to set it null. The join does our work over here. So that's why we use join. So it's quite convenient for us. Now let's check and run our code. I hope so it works well. I don't find any issue. Yeah. So our test case has been accepted over here. We can see we don't have the person ID 1 present in our address table. So in this output, we have the values as null as expected over here. Over here, and check all the hidden test cases are also evaluated on the basis of the condition that we have applied for this particular description. And yes, our test cases have been accepted over here. Okay, so this condition works well with the description that is provided in all the test cases that needs to be evaluated in all the scenarios. Okay, okay, so this was a quite simple problem on left joins. Mainly you need to understand that by reading the question only, you need to understand that we have been given that we have to report the null values if the person ID is not present in your right table. Okay, so for this only you will understand the next time whenever you solve such type of problem, if you didn't understand this time, you'll get through it when you solve such type of other problems too. Okay, so further also we are going to use multiple joins and multiple types of joins using different scenarios, so you'll get to understand it more clearly also. Make sure you try to solve the problem again without looking into the video. If you have just copied it, it's okay for the first time, but try to solve it on your own also. I hope you understood this video, and make sure you are consistent throughout the whole series with me so that you gain some strong knowledge on this SQL. Okay, so if you like the video, then please do hit the like button, share it with all your friends and colleagues, and I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.